So, as we had just talked about, we did a big stream for the 2024 NHL Draft Lottery. Thank you to y'all who did spend some time to hang out with us and have a good time. We opened some hockey cards. I pulled a Hands of Gold Henrik Sedin from a 1999 SHL Upper Deck pack, and I was very happy with that. But what I also was pretty happy with was the results of the Draft Lottery, because if you take a look at the order on Tankathon, it turns out that for the first time since 2010, the draft order did not change after the lottery. St. Louis, Detroit, San Jose, Minnesota, Philadelphia, Buffalo, New Jersey, Calgary, Seattle, Ottawa, Utah, Montreal, Columbus, Anaheim, Chicago, and San Jose. That is our order. And with this video, I wanted to go out there and talk about the Montreal Canadiens, because with the Habs sticking around at 5th overall, this gives Kent Hughes a very interesting decision to make. Because if you go over to the Elite Prospects consolidated ranking for the 2024 NHL Draft, you are going to find names all over the place. Now, this is consolidated, quote-unquote, so it is kind of the average of all the rankings, but this year, especially compared to all the other years, this 2 to, let's say, 10 range is all over the place. Macklin Celebrini is going to go 1, and that's kind of the only thing we know. We don't know what else is going to happen. Any one of these guys, Levshunov could go number 2, Demidov could go number 2, Catton Lindstrom could go number 2. There are so many names that are all in sort of a similar tier of player that from 2 to 5, we kind of have no clue what prospects will be available to the Montreal Canadiens. So what I wanted to do was just go over a few names, talk about some guys that could be available in this range that the Habs and Kent Hughes might be interested in. Pretty much going over the names that I think most Canadiens fans are talking about. Starting things off with number 2, Ivan Demidov. I also wanted to talk about Catton Lindstrom, Berkly, Catton, and then we can go over to the potential 13th overall pick, TJ Ginla, because he is also a name that a lot of Habs fans, a lot of fans of every other team seems to be interested in as well. Let's go over to Ivan Demidov, because when it comes to him, for Montreal Canadiens fans that were kind of hoping the team would take Matvei Michkov last year, this dude in Demidov could very well be the redemption if he is the Canadiens' choice at 5. Now, I kind of doubt he will be. He's a little bit more consistently ranked at the top of the draft compared to a lot of these other prospects. I mean, there are some outlets like Bob McKenzie that have him at number 6. Chris Peters has him at number 5. But for the most part, I think Demidov is going to be that guy. He's so skilled. He's so capable at scoring goals. He was an absolute monster in the MHL. Double point per game guy. And if you wanted Michkov, Demidov could very well be just a tad better if you wanted to approach that territory. But, of course, because he has such a high profile, he might not even be available at 5, which is why we talk about some of the other forwards here. Catton Lindstrom is the guy that we've been talking about the entire past few weeks here. He's been saying stuff about Montreal. He's been talking about Slavkovsky, talking about Caulfield. He wants this to happen. He himself the prospect. And so, for a lot of Canadiens fans taking a look at Catton Lindstrom, 6'4", 216, left-handed guy, a lot of Habs fans, especially in our stream earlier today, were saying that Lindstrom should be the guy. 46 points, 32 games played, 27 goals. He was almost a goal-a-game guy. Such a strong hockey player, and somebody that I think Canadiens fans will absolutely adore should he find himself in Montreal sometime soon. Especially on a line with Slavkovsky. He said himself he would like to play with Slav. Is that not enough? Then you go over into some of the smaller guys. Berkly Catton is 5'11", 163. He is a player that has exhibited such a strong overall point-scoring ability. He scored a ton of goals this year in the WHL, 62 assists. He is such a strong passer, one of the greater minds in this year's NHL draft, and a guy that a lot of Canadiens fans have been kind of eyeing for, not necessarily because of his size, but because his offensive ability could be so strong at the next level. Think about if anybody needs a player to set Cole Caulfield up night in and night out, Berkly Catton could very well be that guy. Catton, Suzuki, and Caulfield could be a really good offensively potent line, and that's not even to disrespect Slavkovsky. Catton is just that good at creating offense, and there could be a really good fit here. Sticking in the WHL, though, there is another name here in TJ Ginla that a lot of Canadiens fans have been asking for as well. The fact is here, TJ is not the biggest, 6 feet 185, but he exhibits such a strong off-puck aggression that makes him so difficult to play against, while also being such a strong offensively talented forward. 84 points, 64 games played, 47 goals. This guy was a goal-scoring machine, and of course he is the son of Jarome Iginla, so there's a lot of connection here. A lot of Canadiens fans have been saying they want him. A lot of Flames fans at 9th overall were kind of saying they wanted him too. Tej is projected to go somewhere around 13, but that could very well rise as high as 6th overall, top 8-ish territory, if you go out there and ask certain people in the scouting world. So Iginla, we have no idea what's going to happen with him as this entire thing continues, but he could very well be an option if the Montreal Canadiens wanted to reach at their 5th overall selection. I mean, they have reached at 5th overall before. They literally took David Reinbacher last year, but for Tej Iginla, he certainly would be a lot more of a consensus reach. Like, if you had to choose a guy to go a lot higher than the projections state, I think Tej Iginla is the guy that everybody seems to be more on board with than not. There also is a conversation we could have about Cole Eiserman. He's here at 14th overall in the projection, and a lot of people were asking, like, oh, why is he ranked so low? What's the deal with this guy? Why do people not like him? And the description that I kind of put out there on the stream was that Cole Eiserman plays almost exactly like that annoying EASHL player plays in your video game. He always wants the puck, he always shoots the puck, he doesn't really make too many passes and plays with it, but when this guy has the puck on his stick, you know some way or another it's finding itself on goal. Either it's in the back of the net because Cole Eiserman is so good at scoring, or it's setting up a rebound in front for a chance on the other side. This is a pure goal scorer who plays like a pure goal scorer, and even his point total suggests that. With the USHL competition, he had 25 goals in 24 games, and only 9 assists. This is a goal scorer through and through, but almost to a fault, because he does kind of sacrifice different elements of his game that don't revolve around goal scoring in order to focus mostly on goal scoring. So, for Cole Eiserman, this is a guy who very well could go somewhere in the top 5 if the Canadiens really wanted to. I mean, he's ranked 4th by Bob McKenzie, but a bunch of these other outlets have him at 14, 11, 16-ish, because some scouts are really lower on him than others, so it really depends on what you value. If you want to talk about just pure goal-scoring potential, Eiserman is one of the best in this draft class, if not top 3, but everything else surrounding his game is a question mark, which is why his projected ranking is so low compared to some who have him so high. So these are just kind of the names that I've seen a lot of Canadiens fans talking about the most at 5th overall. Lindstrom, Catton, Demidov, Tej Iginla, Eiserman. We don't really think it would be projectable for the Canadiens to take a defenseman because there are a bunch of D-men that could go in the top 4 even, top 5. Levshunov, Dickinson, Silayev, Buium, Parekh. These guys could each be top 10 talents and nobody would bat an eye. But with the Canadiens kind of trying to weave their way and navigate through that, it would be kind of difficult to pinpoint where exactly they go here. This draft is so wide open that it makes the conversation very difficult, but I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Where do you think the Canadiens go with their draft selection in 2024? 5th overall, it's already confirmed. Let me know in the comments who you think they're going to take. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.